Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. But that's it for today's video. Despite the shirt and the glass, this is not Bourbon County, this is Suffolk County. But I think there's definitely going to be some similarities and some big differences. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. The beer's courtesy of Ross. Thanks so much, Ross. I really appreciate it. I'm super stoked to be able to try this, so thank you. So if you know anything about this, it's Goose Island. We probably already know the name of the brewery and the name of the beer from the title. So it's all English malts, all English hops. It's a big stout, and it's aged in Adnams Southwold single malt whiskey barrels. And I'm sure I butchered the name of that, and I apologize. I'm just notoriously bad at pronouncing things. It's 14.3% ABV. So I don't know how different the base beer is from Bourbon County, because it's a pretty similar, ABV at least. I don't know how much they use English malt and or English hops for that beer. They're saying Imperial Stout brewed with English hops and English malts, then aged in Adnams Southwold single malt whiskey barrels from Suffolk County, England. So basically everything I've already said, so I'm glad I read that. They're saying it's got a best by 2 years. So unlike Bourbon County or something where they're saying maybe like within 5. Of course, some of the variants and stuff, they say within 2. So nothing is surprising so far. I'm hoping to get like a little bit of peatiness on it, but let's see. It's a lot of black in there. A little bit of brown as I was pouring it, but definitely a dark looking beer. Maybe a quarter to a third of a finger ahead, but it's mostly sticking inside a glass in the center. It's barely a film above the liquid. It's a dark mocha color, tiny bubbles and some small bubbles. But yeah, definitely looks like it could be a beer like Bourbon County. So far I'm not too surprised by anything. Let's get into the aroma. Yeah, so here you're getting a little bit of difference. You do get awesome chocolate, milk chocolate and dark chocolate, which I've been really enjoying lately. If I have a big stout, or typically a stout could be a few other styles. If I can get both kinds of chocolate, that's really cool. Nice vanilla, but you do get some like peatiness. Not a ton. It's not like a punch in the face of smoky peatiness. You do get a kiss more than you would with Bourbon County. Well, the smokiness, you probably don't get really peatiness in that, but anyway. Soft caramel. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. And you get some of that like fire pit smoke thing, which is really pleasant. It's kind of cutting through. And again, it's not overly sweet, but it's cutting through some of that sweetness there. A little bit of a generic earthy quality. It smells fantastic. I chilled it because I plan on sipping this for a while tonight, so I did chill. So I'm starting it at 45 degrees, so about, probably 10 degrees lower than my ideal spot. But I didn't want to open it, drink some, let it come up in temperature, then do a review. I'd rather pop the top and do it. So it is a little colder than I want, but the aroma is not, if it's muted by the temperature, well done, because it still smells great. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Ross. Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow. In a lot of ways, it does taste like Bourbon County, just you are slightly upping that smoke, and then you're adding where it transcends smoke into that peaty thing. So in terms of that, like things that are hovering around that specific tasting note, a little bit of leather, a little bit of tobacco, for sure. That like in the aroma, that generic earthiness, like you can kind of taste that as well. Also, like the aroma, I get both kinds of chocolate, milk and dark chocolate. Right now it's skewing a little bit more milk, which is interesting because it does have that sweetness. I had good level of that vanilla and the caramel, but again, not overly sweet, but definitely those notes are there, that burnt sugar thing. This beer would have been a trip to do blind, and then like know nothing about it, or even like side by side with a Bourbon County. There's a lot of, like, if it was a Venn diagram, there's a lot of overlap, but it is cool because it does have its own thing, which I really appreciate. I don't know if it's just because I've had a few sips at this point, or if it's warming up a little bit, or whatever. But I'm definitely getting even more of the peatiness now. So it is separating itself more and more from the Bourbon County similarities. Nice wood specifically. The spirit, not overly done, but a nice kiss of that. It's not that brand, but I do have some. And again, it's not overly peaty. Like it's not. Man, what I'm really trying to do is differentiate it from something a lot of people who are watching this, probably everyone who's watching this, I would assume, has had Bourbon County. So I'm really trying to, if you have not had this beer, give you an experience basing it off of, to the best of my memory, what Bourbon County typically tastes like. So yeah, please don't misunderstand me. It's not super smoky ham beer. It's not like the peatiest thing I've ever had either. But those are the most obvious differences. Again, as someone who loves Bourbon County, I really appreciate that I got to try this and that it is just enough different that it's keeping my attention. 'Cause, like, how lame would this be if it was exactly the same? So like, I'm really glad it's not. And like, where Bourbon County can be brownie bad or fudgy, this is approaching but gets cut off, so it's like another difference. And again, and this is its own beer, and I'm not trying to do it. I'm not trying to not to do it justice, but again, I just from a point of reference for people watching, can't help but compare it to Bourbon County. And obviously, the name's a play on Bourbon County. It's there's a lot of stuff going. It's not just in my head, but This is fantastic. This is really tasty, and I'm just so glad I got to try it. So thanks again, Ross. I really appreciate it, man. Have you had this beer before? What do you think about changing up barrels with the same base beer? And again, I don't know if this is the same base beer. Is that interesting or not? If you've watched this far, it does happen to be my birthday today, so put an HB so people think you're talking about Hot Butcher in the comment section below. That way I know you watch till the end, and you don't win anything, but that way I know you watch till the end. Or any other comment you want. Who am I to tell you what to put in the comment section? Just please put something in the comment section. Then check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews in both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.